Bonjour, Toby Baisley here from French Speak. In this video, I'm going to teach you an important bit of grammar, which is verbs followed by another verb without prepositions. So what's important to know is that as you build more and more complex sentences, you're likely to have more than just one verb in the sentence. For example, in English, you might say things like, I'd like to know. And you've got a little to there in between. Or she loves traveling. It's the verb to love and the verb to travel. We hate waiting in queues. It's a very French thing. To hate and to wait. They have to wash the car. To have to and to wash together. Some of them, in English, you put an ing. Some of them, you put a to in between the two verbs. Sometimes you put nothing. So in French, I'm going to teach you which verbs have no little words in between. Note that the infinitive verb, in terms of grammar jargon and specific words, we need to be on the same page. So infinitive word is the raw form of the verb in its pure form. So without it being changed in any way, to have, to be, to go, to leave, to travel, the way you'll find it in the dictionary in French. Être, avoir, aller, voyager, travailler, those ones. It's the opposite, technically, to a conjugated verb. So if you say, he works, works is conjugated, but to work is the raw form of working, travailler. D'accord? Our program is, we're going to see the first three verbs, which are modal verbs, which are always followed by another verb with nothing in between. To want, to have to, and to be able to. And then I've grouped the other verbs together so that you can just start seeing a theme build in them. So, to want in present tense is vouloir. Je veux, tu veux, il, elle, on veut, nous voulons, vous voulez, ils veulent, elles veulent. I want, you want, he, she, one wants, we want, you want, they want. Des exemples. Elle veut voir le film. Ils veulent prendre le train. Je ne veux pas dormir. So even though I'm saying that we'll put two verbs side by side and there's not going to be any little word to introduce the second verb, when you say ne pas for these modal verbs, the first three slides will be modal verbs. For these ones, you'll always put the ne and the pas around the conjugated part, so around the vouloir bit. Je ne veux pas dormir. And then the next verb will just be in infinitive, no changes. No need to translate the little word to. Other verb, that's another modal verb, and it means to have to. Sometimes in present you can use it as must, but in other tenses you won't be able to use must. So try and remember it as to have to. Devoir. Je dois, tu dois, il doit, elle doit, on doit. Same pronunciation for the first three. Nous devons, vous devez, ils doivent, elles doivent. Quelques exemples. Elle doit faire ses devoirs. Ils doivent prendre le train. Je ne dois pas partir. In the affirmative, it would just be je dois partir, but here the ne pas separates the first and the second verb. Je ne dois pas partir. And the third verb, modal, again, is to be able to. Pouvoir. Je peux, tu peux, il peut, elle peut, on peut, nous pouvons, vous pouvez, ils peuvent, elles peuvent. Quelques exemples. Elle peut faire ses devoirs. Ils peuvent prendre le train, ou l'avion, pardon. Ils peuvent prendre l'avion. Je ne peux pas partir. I'm not able to leave. I can't leave. D'accord? So, first thing to remember is after a modal verb, Even though in English, a lot of the time you'll have to before the next verb, you don't need to translate that ever. Okay, you've just put the two verbs side by side. First one is conjugated, the modal verb, here pouvoir, and the next one is in infinitive. It just stays the same. The other verbs that behave the same way are adorer, aimer, détester, espérer, penser, préférer, savoir. Okay? Quelques exemples. I've got three more. She loves to dance or she loves dancing. Elle adore danser. They prefer to take the plane. Ils préfèrent prendre l'avion. I do not know how to speak Russian, or I don't know how to speak Russian. Je ne sais pas parler le russe. D'accord? So there are your other verbs. So remember this group of verbs plus the three modal verbs. You don't need to put anything when it's followed by another verb. There's a couple more that are impersonal, and I would say they're probably more intermediate to advanced levels. These ones are to be better, vouloir mieux, and falloir, to be necessary. These are what we call impersonal verbs, meaning that we conjugate them with the pronoun il, which is he, but it actually doesn't refer to any person in particular. So when we say il vaut mieux réserver la veille, we're just saying it's better to. It's better to book the day prior. Il faut pratiquer régulièrement, hint, hint. It's necessary to practice regularly. And il faut finir votre livre. You have to or you must finish your book, or it's necessary. So you might have come across il faut as a phrase. It is a falloir verb and it only conjugates with il. Here are a few examples in present, and just try and remember that they fall into this category of verbs where they don't need another preposition or another of those sneaky little words before you use the next verb. Okay? My top tip is to focus on these. Focus and help yourself to make them stick by not just watching the video and going off doing something else or watching another one, but practice and make 3 to 5 sentences with each. Maybe not in one sitting, but you can break it into little 15-minute tasks for the next few days. Just take each verb, think of a sentence in English, and work it out in French for best practice. Voila! I will say goodbye and I will see you in the next video. Merci beaucoup. Au revoir.